All right, we are now officially recording, and I'm in with Martin Scott.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. I wondered if you disappeared then for a minute.
I know. I was really silent for a long period of time.
Yeah. So, for people joining, for people listening, hopefully you've seen the original video I did roughly about a week ago, The Ugly Side of Group X, the truth about teaching that gyms don't want you to know. It's picked up some good traction, especially within the instructor community. I think that's where the main sort of bulk of the listeners have come from. And one lovely man has reached out, Martin Scott. Do you want to introduce yourself, Martin?
I appreciate that you call me a lovely man. I don't think my participants would say the same thing. But that's fine. But my name's Martin Scott. If you don't know anything about me, I'm primarily in the East Midlands. I've taught in Nottingham, Derby and Leicester. Basically, I used to be a sprinter for about 10 years at Loughborough University. So when it comes to physical exercise, I know quite a lot about it. Been instructing for about 7 years. Some people might ask me, how old am I? I'm not 100 years old, I promise. But that was literally just to give you a bit of background, just to say when it comes to physical exercise and like intensity of the exercises, I'm probably one of the top ones out there. So yeah.
Nice. And you are what do you call them now? Instructor coach?
Yes. So I'm currently, if you don't know anything about the layout or the structure of Les Mills, obviously you have the instructor, and then you used to have what we used to call tribe coaches. They've recently changed it to instructor coaches. And I recently became an instructor coach probably about a year and a half ago.
Nice. Did you ever go to the tribal gatherings in like 2019?
I went to the tribal gathering where Rachel showed up in Milton Keynes. Remember that?
Keynes?
Yeah.
I don't know that one. I was at the one in. Was that like the Londonish one? No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. 2000 and what?
Ooh, it was down south. I want to say 2019 or 2018. I'm sure there'll be loads of people who would have taken a picture of Rachel with combat stance.
Yeah, I saw her in. It was in like a rugby stadium at a tribal gathering. I think it was 2018 or 2019. I met her there, and then I met her again at Finland as well.
I have not travelled. I mean,
oh no, do you know how sad? Right, so this is actually me and my now fiance. We we went to the Les Mills. I don't know what it's called. It was like a Nordic event, right? And we we flew from London, I think, to Switzerland. No, yes, Sweden. We flew to Sweden, and then it was like part of the Les Mills package you could do if you wanted to. You got a boat, right? And you did like a Les Mills cruise over to Finland, coached to the event, and then back to the boat, and then back over to Sweden, and then flew home.
I want all the new instructors who've learned their new releases over Zoom to listen to this, because this is what we used to do.
Yeah, no, you're right, though. Yeah, it was pretty mad. So, like, yeah, they had loads of presenters there, like Rachel. I think Rene was there. In fact, you know what, he definitely was, because I met him the week before at the after tribal gathering in Scotland. I managed to drag a few people out, and he came out for a few beers. So I met him there, and then he was there the week after. He was there with Roman was there. Yeah, quite a few presenters were there actually. But yeah, anyway. Back in the day, traveling around to do a bit of Group X.
Back in the day where you used to have CDs when you get a release, people should know about this.
Do you know what? Actually, CDs predate me. CDs and DVDs, that predates me for instructing.
Well, to be fair, that's why we're having this discussion for all the older instructors, all the new ones. They got to know.
Yeah, true. Yeah, all the scumbags like me who didn't have to send in a DVD. I just did it all on the portal.
I'm nearly rolling on the floor.
As far as so Martin, I mean, you got in contact after seeing the video, and this is just for people listening as well, especially if you watch the video. Massive thank you to literally, and this. I know people say this. Honestly, I've read every comment. I know you said you've read every comment.
Yeah.
There's been comments asking if I'm healthy, which I really appreciate, and I am healthy. It was just a bit of a rocky rocky moment there. It was a bit touch and go, but I got through it. So thank you everyone who was concerned for my health. I'm feeling better now as well. The big thing that struck me is that there is just so many people who have sort of their own version of the exact same narrative.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it, and the common denominator was basically there's nothing to cover you for, first of all, injuries, and there's also nothing to cover you for if a new up-and-coming instructor wants to do your classes for cheaper. And nobody really wants to talk about it.
Sure.
All that happens is when you see an instructor say, I've been instructing for 20 years, the younger instructors are also, I wouldn't say brainwashed, but taught that, oh, you can do it better than them and for free. And that should be the case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I mean, as far as, I'm going to have a quick jab at, specifically really at Les Mills for a minute here. And what I'm going to say is that it's something that I think is kind of intentional, but there's been an unintended, a symptom of it, is that it's quite well known. I don't know what it's called. There's like a bit of a principle and idea in business where it's not, if you want to keep retention, then you don't just provide a product. You kind of you try and bring people into feeling like they're part of something bigger. And like Les Mills is really good at this. Like obviously if we're paying for releases or something, we're a customer, but they've really nailed the ability to sort of make you feel like more. You know, the whole sort of we are the Les Mills tribe. Obviously, they don't use tribe anymore, and always sort of these sort of these campaigns that they try and bring us. They claim to bring us all together. We're all one team, one group, and all that. And for some of us, and you know, I've got to be honest, I think I was as well. I think we were kind of. It creates for some of the instructors a bit of a cult mentality.
I agree. I mean, just to go on the thing that you were talking about specifically, I mean, I was talking to an instructor and I went, if I had to pay £35 for a release is it 3 months, Danny, or is it 4 months?
3 months.
Every 3 months for the last 9 years, and somebody came up to me and said, unless you pay £1.57 a class, you can't use any of those releases, I would feel a type of way about it.
Yeah.
So for everyone who's like, oh, you should appreciate that, for example, Les Mills brought out a Grit Nano or a Pump Nano. What I've been saying to people is, yeah, I understand, but just to tell you my position, I've got 5 programs. £205 comes out every 3 months.
Jesus.
And just to let everyone know, just in case you don't know, We've had a pandemic for a year.
Just in case anyone didn't know. Yeah.
Just in case people forgot.
And how helpful were Les Mills when it came to sort of allowing us to use our programs during lockdown?
I think it's the similar problem to what you were talking about when you're in your car. We have to pay for those programs, but they're not actually talking to the gyms and saying, oh, we're going to encourage you to keep the programs. So you almost feel like I'm paying for this, but I'm not going to use it.
Yeah.
And that is not a good feeling to have, especially when you don't have a lot of money to eat. Let's say that again. I'll just say it one more time. To eat. And you have to pay £35 for a release that you're not going to use.
Definitely. I would say as well, because I'm sure someone's screaming it at their screen now, Les Mills did allow, they did say that if you wanted to skip releases during the pandemic, you could, which is nice. But I think it's nice, but then I think what I would also say is that didn't necessarily help when we were sort of sat there with nothing to teach. I know eventually we did get the lockdown releases, but the sort of the help there was fairly minimal.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm like yourself, because you said you read the comments and I read the comments too. So I'm sure they're going to have a lot of people who are sitting there going, well, nobody told you that you have to buy it. Nobody told you that you have to do this. And for those people, what I'm going to say now is kind of like the elephant in the room, which you don't want to hear. But what if you enjoy teaching? Let me say that one more time, just in case you missed that. What if you enjoy teaching? So you want to teach those releases. So anyone who's experienced and been doing it for probably over 5 years will try and hire out a studio and do the releases independently. So let's talk about it. Les Mills, how are we helping those people? Because I've seen loads of people on YouTube, you and me included, doing videos to keep the passion up. And I see loads of videos of other people keeping the passion up. So I suppose as a solution, what I'm trying to say is, can Les Mills tell us how much these licenses cost? Because we kind of need to know, because we're not going to continue throwing £35 down the drain.
Yeah, they do it in one of the other countries. They allow the instructor to buy the license as opposed to the centre.
Yeah, and if they can't, because I don't know, nobody knows the legals ins and outs. If they can't, then transparency is the key. Tell us. Like, we want to know. Like, if you can't do it, tell us. And tell us why you can't do it. Because there's no point, you know what you said in your video, there's no point just going, oh, we can't do it. That doesn't help anyone. Like, we need to know why and how we can solve it. Like,
yeah, and do you know, they in all fairness, they might have given the reason, but it's in the official Facebook group, of which a lot of people are banned, and it's during a live stream, of which most people can't be bothered to listen to, and quite rightly.
Yeah, which, to be honest, leads into your main topic of what you were talking about when you were saying the pay rates. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. You said it was £18 for 45 minutes, and then you said it was £21 for 60 minutes. And I decided to do some research, and I said the minimum wage is £8.91.
Yeah.
I want to let people know that, have you tried doing grit for 8 hours?
Grit always gets me, and I know I said it in the video, but when I first, but before I got into the 3 programs, I got one of the ones that was in the firing line was grit, because I used to enjoy grit, and I was like, but it's £40 per release, per quarter, and you only get half an hour, and they pay you less.
Yeah.
Which,
So basically, I said to you, we're in a similar position. I used to work at David Lloyd, and they got rid of grit, and they basically asked me, Martin, can you do a 45-minute HIT class?
Yep.
Obviously, with my experience, I went, yes. But you must understand that you were dead right. They'll pay me £18, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Take off the £1.57.
Wait, did you get 18 at David Lloyd?
Let's just say 18. I don't want to talk about going lower. Yeah, take off £1.57 because Martin's got to play a 50-cent song or the Killers.
Right.
You got to play a song. Yeah, cool. Because that's how everyone will be interested in the class. Yeah, take off the £1.57, and then also take off the insurance that you talked about. So now I'm sitting on £15 for a 45-minute class. And just to go back to what we were talking about, the minimum wage is £8.91. So people on minimum wage are actually getting more than me because I only can teach that HIT class maximum 3 times a week because it knackers my knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? It's like you're not even paying people minimum wage, and you kind of know it. And the amount of instructors and Danny, I'm sure you can vouch for this. I think you're going to start laughing. The amount of instructors who have gone up to the Group X manager and they've said, "Oh, we'll put you on the cover list."
Yeah, I've never seen the cover list.
What does that mean? I think that means we can't guarantee you a class, but good luck.
Do you know what's so funny? Like you say, like just pick it up when you're saying we can't guarantee you a class. Have you ever signed an instructor agreement with a club?
Yeah.
What's one of the first things on there? We have the right to remove your class without notice and without reason.
Yeah. Which is why
sorry, go on.
I was this is a really harsh reality for every new instructor or even any old instructor. But I suppose it does need to be said, and that's why we're doing this kind of conversation. That is a 0-hour contract.
Oh, man, yeah. No,
you cannot,
yeah.
There's no going around it. That is a 0-hour contract. We will call you when we need you.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I've had it before where gyms have, where coordinators have tried to kind of just Facebook message or WhatsApp, sort of the night before a class and be like, "Oh, sorry, it's not on tomorrow. Numbers are too bad." I'm like, "Yo, what? You can't do that." I mean, they can according to what I've signed, but you can't do that. Like in general, it's just so immoral and so scummy.
So, Danny, I think the good thing about this conversation is we were talking and we were like, we're going to try and focus on solutions. So one of the things I thought of is before you hire an instructor, you get them to sign a contract saying you've got to give them at least 4 hours a week. Because that will eliminate quite a lot of things. That would eliminate you just on a whim, and I'm sure you understand what I'm about to say, on a whim, firing somebody for having yellow hair. Right, yeah. You know what I'm talking about, where you're firing somebody for no good reason.
Yeah.
And it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, but we need to have it as instructors. And if you hire somebody for at least 4 hours, it also means that you can't just fire them like that. They will have rights to see out the rest of their 4 hours that they're doing, or stuff like that. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, it's an interesting solution. Something else that I think is I would say, is a simple amendment to any instructor agreement if they're made to, if you're made to sign one at a gym. One, if your gym does not expect one of you, I would certainly try to get something written out. What I would be looking for clause-wise is, at the very least, a 2-week notice of any class termination with that class paid.
Yeah, I agree.
And then, I mean, I'm sat in front of a laptop now, but I'm not going to try and search it because I'm on Facebook, not on HMRC. But I'm pretty sure it's like the rights of an employee in general. I think it's like you get 2 weeks notice plus an extra week for every year you've worked there, up to 5 or something like that. I might be butchering that, but what that means is if you've been teaching, let's apply that to classes. If you've been teaching at Nuffield or David Lloyd for say 3 years, then because you've been there for that long, if they're about to cut your class, you're entitled to 5 weeks notice. Just as a potential solution for we're cutting your class by sort of thing. That feels like that would be not a bad idea.
Yeah, and just before this call, we were talking about it, and Danny actually said, I completely forgot about that. I think this is the only role where you can get injured on the job or something to do with the actual location that you're in and not get paid for it. Yeah. I have never seen. Please, for all you instructors who think I'm being very pessimistic right now, okay, please go and ask any of your friends, who work other jobs, if they get injured on the job, they sprain their ankle on the job, that the company goes, yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah, no, you're right. And
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, and especially we're talking about a job where you're at a heightened risk of injury as well. Just by the nature of what you're doing, it's a heightened risk of injury. And actually, I say this. I don't know. You might disagree with me. I say this to participants that are quite we could say diehard, very passionate gym goers. I say. Injuries are not a possibility; they're an inevitability. You will get injured. It's just going to happen. It's not. Maybe it won't happen today, not next week, not next year, but one day soon you will get an injury, and then you will have to go through the fun process of being injured, resting, recovering, and returning to training.
Yeah, I mean. For the life of me, I don't understand, and I know we've talked about a lot of things that the clubs can do to help the instructors, but I hope a club manager is listening, and goes, yeah, that is actually correct. Why do instructors not get free physio? Can somebody explain this to me? Because when I used to be a sprinter, we used to get free physio. Why? Because we're running so fast that you might pull a hamstring, you might pull a car, and they'll say, okay, if you're going to run for us, here's a physio that we'll see on a regular basis.
Oh, sorry, when you say sprinter, you mean track sprint?
Yeah.
Sorry, when you said sprinter at the beginning, I thought you'd been teaching Les Mills sprint.
Can you imagine, Danny? I can't do 6.
Sorry. Oh yeah. Do you know what? Then we are definitely really on the same page here. I mean, my my background is I was a GB athlete in Taekwondo, and just like you just said, I was doing that full time, and I was seeing a physio 3 times a week for free, as part of what I do. We're talking like my average Monday, for example. I'd wake up at 6, I'd be in the gym for 6:30, 2 hours of kicking each other, and then I'd go and see a physio for a bit. I'd go and do another 2 hours of kicking each other, maybe go and have a sports massage, and then I'd be doing weights for about an hour, and that was my average sort of Monday. And you do that sort of 4 or 5 days a week, and that was kind of our build period, right? But in that, I'm getting, obviously I'm doing high energy, real tough, demanding physical sport, but I was getting physiotherapy. We had our own GP, we had our own nutritionist, and we had I was able to get deep tissue like sports massages, and that was all part of the package. And I can honestly say that if I was to teach 20 sort of Les Mills classes a week, I'm talking, like your grits and your body combat, your body attack, pump, the high energy stuff, it's actually not that far off what I was doing as a GB athlete.
Exactly. And the thing is, admittedly, it might be an extra cost to the gyms, but for all the gym managers, hey, I'm not telling you what to do, but one day it will come. Somebody will get a very, very serious injury. Okay? What if they decide to sue? Because you're on their premises. So what I'm trying to say is that it's not a threatening thing that I'm talking about. I'm just saying, involved in the contract, if you had like a minimum standard amount of hours a week, and then you said, we can give you, 2 hours worth of physio a week. Like, we can't give you everything.
No,
so
of course.
we can give you 2 hours worth of physio. I think those things are good standard of living costs for instructors to go, okay, you know what, that £18 for the 45 minutes isn't too bad because I get benefits with it. Yeah?
Yeah.
And please do not say the benefits that we give to our instructors are they get free gym membership, because I don't know about you, but I will talk specifically. I have never had that.
Wait, you've never had like free gym membership from a gym?
No.
Wow.
I have worked, I'm just naming them, I have worked at Virgin Active, David Lloyd, Nuffield, Exercise for Less, JD Sports. There isn't a gym that I haven't worked in, basically.
Wow, I got pretty much all pretty much all the gyms that I've worked in. They've sort of they've pretty much said like you can do what you want. The only gym which had a bit of restriction was David Lloyd. They said, basically what I was told is, you can use the gym equipment before and after if you're in, but don't take the piss.
Yeah. So that's why.
Sorry, can I throw in a story here? This is a good one. I was at David Lloyd, and I wanted to have a quick shower which I don't usually bother trying to shower at the gym because I can't be asked. I'll do it at my own place, But for whatever reason, this time I wanted to have a quick shower, and I didn't have a towel. I go up to the front desk. Oh, can I just have a quick towel? And they're like, well, you're not a Vantage member. So I didn't end up getting my towel because I'm not a Vantage member.
Yeah. So
it's just the little things like that, isn't it? It's like, give me my towel, mate. I just taught a class. Give me a towel.
Yeah. And Danny, I think you're right. And the only way I'm talking, because we're just having a chat. I'm talking specifics like facts now. The only way you enforce this is if you actually put it in the contract. So, for example, we worked at different David Lloyd. but it should be the same. But the only reason that you have it in place is because it's in a contract.
Definitely.
So all the contracts are the same. They all say you get 2 hours worth of physio, you get a minimum of 4 hours a week. Also, and Danny, you might like this part, you also get a towel.
Don't forget the towel, man. Why is it such a ball ache to just give you a towel, you know?
It's crazy, but yeah. To be fair, this is a real life conversation. So we're going to talk about. So the other thing that we're going to talk about was the hey. Once I pronounce it, you're happy to correct me. Simspa. Should we talk about it?
Oh god, Simspa. Yeah. You know, they didn't reps basically get sort of Pac-Man eaten up by Simspa. You know, just for the sake of pronunciation, I wish it was the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what, actually, I've got an update on Simspa. For anyone who's not followed anything that I've been posting on Facebook since the video, I have been trying to contact Simspa. I was successful in my initial contact. They did reply. Do you know what, can I find the emails? Are you still with me?
Yes.
Cool. Sorry, I just what I've done is I've gone on to my emails and check I didn't accidentally hang up. Actually, it's going to be easier to find it as a screenshot. Let's have a look. No, that's photos. I want screenshots. That's what I want. Here we go. Right. My first message to Simspa. Hello. I was recently asked by the gym I teach at to get a Simspa membership. I have my insurance, but this was also expected, and I see the cost is £30. I have a few questions. Number one, is that per year? Now, I asked that because someone in a comment said that it was only for 5 months. Now, as I say it, perhaps what they're saying is they only got to teach 5 months of last year and didn't get any kind of refund, which is pretty scummy. So that was my first question. Number two, what do I get for my money? Number three, do Simspa deal with gym providers directly? Is this why some gyms ask for instructors to have Simspa memberships and others don't? Kind regards, Danny Dowling. Now, there is going to be a little curveball thrown in here that no one has seen or heard yet. So do hang on to your seat for that. So their reply was from a chap. Oh, no, that's not right. That's something else. A chap named George. Where's George? There he is. Thank you for your email. All of our practitioner memberships, with the exception of Advanced Coach Practitioner, which I'm really intrigued to know what that is, are £30 a year. By being a Simspa member, you are professionally recognised for your qualifications and CPD you have completed, and are added to the Directory of Exercise Professionals in the UK. Alongside this, you'll have plenty of options for further professional development, such as through our in-house e-learning portal Simspa Academy or via our partners. In addition, we have provided support to our members throughout the past 12 months through our Stronger Together Hub, Stronger Together Facebook page, and webinars delivered exclusively for members. So that's what you get for your money. Simspa do have formal relationships with some gyms and leisure facility operators in that they are employer partners. That's capitaled, by the way, employer partners, I've just noticed. And so employees at these gyms/leisure facilities are required to take up membership. However, if the gym leisure facility operator are not a partner, then the decision would be up to them in regard to their employees becoming members of Simspa. So that's kind of interesting. Do you have a Simspa?
Yes, I do.
Have you ever used any of the advantages that I've just listed?
No, but I got a newsletter yesterday.
That was it. Do you know what? I used to have reps, and it was exactly the same with reps. It was like, what do I get? Oh, I got a newsletter and a card.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But guess what, Danny? I have an update for every single member who's listening to this, or who's just logged on and been like, oh, I'm going to listen to the whole session.
Mm.
And you're going to be like, wow, that is actually how it should have been. Okay, so I looked it up, and I looked what SIMSPA stands for. It says Chartered Institute for the Management of Sport and Physical Activity. Yeah?
Mm.
And they regulate the fitness industry. So then I got confused because I don't know if anyone knows any teachers, but this example is very important. You become a teacher, yeah?
Mm.
And one thing they ask you is, do you want to join the union for teachers? So you join the union for teachers, and they normally ask you for a certain amount each month out of your wages, £17. Yep. And they will normally represent you, yeah, against your employer, just in case anything in your contract goes wrong, or just in case you're getting mistreated or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, for every member and for everyone who's listening, okay, I'm not here to teach you how to suck eggs, but I do want you to listen. How is it that we pay for SIMSPA and they don't represent us, they represent the employer?
Yes, that is such a good take. Damn, blowing it up.
So basically, I said, okay, and me and Danny were talking about it and went, we as instructors should make a union because SIMSPA can't do it very clearly. They're not doing anything, and every single comment says, I never joined SIMSPA. I've been teaching 17 years. I haven't joined SIMSPA. 5 years. I haven't joined SIMSPA. And then you get the very, like, maybe the 5% who have joined SIMSPA. But you're literally sitting there going, you don't represent us. In fact, you just send you our qualifications. What are you doing? You're literally not doing anything.
Yeah, and do you know what? Like, it's so weird, right? Because, like, this is such a simple example, right? I have a level 3, which was certified by Active IQ. So I did my level 3 PT with Active IQ. Active IQ are a service provider for these courses, right? Well, why is it that SIMSPA is the people that decide that my Active IQ is okay, right? Active IQ is Active IQ. Like, we know that they're like, you know what I mean? I didn't get my certificate down a back alley. Like, I got it from Active IQ. Are they the ones that decide that this is a legitimate certificate? And if so, well, who gave them that power, and why do they wield it?
Yeah, because the unfortunate part about it is, and I'm not trying to say SIMSPA representatives need to answer my question. Hey, guess what? We had a pandemic and you didn't represent us. So what are we paying you for?
Yeah, no, it literally, I mean, before I made my initial video, I put up a question on the UK, unofficial Les Mills group. And I basically asked, what do you get for your £30 with SIMSPA? And I think, well, I said I'm repeating myself. Everyone in that comment section just said nothing. You get nothing. I just want to quickly before I lose myself with it. So the reply I got from SIMSPA with what you get, blah blah blah. I did reply to. I haven't had a reply to yet. So thanks for getting back to me. I'm interested to know, is an Active IQ qualification not recognised for a gym on its own? And that was the point I was trying to make earlier. Like, David Lloyd or Nuffield should look at my Active IQ certificate and go, oh yeah, it's Active IQ. I recognise that. I shouldn't have to go through SIMSPA for that. So that was the first bit. This was the bit that I really want to get an answer on, but I don't think I will. Would love to get some clarification. The direct contracts you have with some gyms, is there monetary gain for either party in this agreement? So what I'm thinking is, like, is one party paying the other at the promise that they will generate money?
Yeah. So I think, just to summarize, I think me and you are 100% in agreement. This should be scrapped, and also they should be helping us, not the employer.
Yeah,
Definitely. It's real simple. Like, I even read an article that said somebody in 2016 contacted Unite to find out if we can have a union for instructors.
Mm.
And they said, yes, you can. Yeah? So see what the ironic thing is, and you might start laughing. Contact Simspa, and they should be able to do it for you. What?
No, we need unionising against Simspa.
It's almost like we're not here to pick sides. I'm not here to pick sides. I'm just trying to say, like teachers, if they are treated badly, the union will look after them. For instructors, if you were to get injured on the job, for example, if you were to do a tuck jump, land at an angle, and I just want everyone to understand what I'm trying to say, if you have knee ligament injuries, they actually affect your walking. Okay? So if you have knee ligament injuries, yeah, who represents you? And I'm pretty sure everyone was going to tell me, no one. You sit at home and you recover. Okay, let's talk to all the people who are sensible. Somebody should represent you.
Definitely. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I got to be honest, right? I've always been apprehensive about union stuff. Now, the reason I'm apprehensive is, one, I don't know that much about it, and two, from what I do know about it, I'm aware that on occasion in different sectors, unions have been detrimental. So, like, being open and honest, I just don't know. But
yeah,
what you're saying right now makes sense. You, like, instructors don't. Maybe this really is the root of it. Instructors, because we're all, mostly self-employed, and we work at different gyms, and they've all got different rules and this and that. Maybe we really we just don't have anyone that really represents us, and then that's why we go unheard for so long.
Yeah, because for me, I'm like, the amount of comments that you see, I like being self-employed, I like being independent, I like working in different places and doing this and doing that and everything like that. And I said, completely understand. These are the people, okay, including myself, I have no kids, okay? I'm 34, I have no kids, okay? So I'll include myself in here. These are all the people with no kids. But anyone who has kids and is listening to this, can you please explain, if you are teaching a class, yeah, and you do 20 hours a week, and then you get injured, how you're meant to go home and explain that you're injured and that you can't pay for a school trip, you can't pay for school dinners, you can't pay for their packed lunch because you're at home injured, and you don't get any sick pay, by the way. I'm sure everyone knows that. Because you're injured. And Danny, this probably make you laugh. What happens is your partner has to look after you. So your partner has to do 2 financial loads because you're injured. So
Yeah.
that is why you need, in any job, to kind of like, that's why I was talking about physios in your contract. You need to be looked after for your own safety. Like, you cannot be running around going, oh, I can do everything, because eventually, and I think you said it, didn't you? You said eventually you get injured.
Yeah. As I said, it's an inevitability. Yeah, sorry, my fiance just kind of walked in, put some Tiger Balm on her knee, right? So were you like 22? Yeah, so she's 22 now. Now she's just recently experienced her first proper injury, right? So she's gone from mega class keno to like, oh, it hurts to walk sometimes, you know, and like, yeah, like since so yeah, so it's been like it's come up for like 5 months of a knee injury, right? So that, I mean, that for you and me, maybe that's quite standard. It's like, yeah, okay, sometimes you get injured, it takes months to heal, blah blah blah. But like, if you're an instructor listening to this right now and you've not experienced like an injury, like I'm not talking like a little boo boo. I mean, you know, you've gone over an ankle or your knee has started to twinge and then it progresses, or you've got not got sore shoulder, right? Let me tell you, it's coming. It is coming, and it is horrible. Not just physically, but you know what? It's horrible mentally, because you're so used to being a superhero in front of all this class of people, and all of a sudden you go from superhero to super sack of spuds, and it's horrendous.
Yeah, and it's for all those people who, yeah, I know you're listening, and I know you're sitting there going, I never get injured. I never, in all my years, I have never got injured. Right, for anyone who is saying that, I'm happy to talk to you. In 9 years, I never got injured sprinting. Okay? I turned my ankle in aerobics.
So I'm not laughing at you. It's just like just 9 years of sprinting, and then aerobics.
And it's for anyone. It's for anyone who thinks they're superheroes and can do everything. You're not. You can't do everything. You need to be looked after, just in case. That does happen, and it's a sad reality that, unfortunately, not only are Les Mills not looking after you, your gym that you work in, unless somebody goes out and shows me their contract, they're not looking after you either.
No. Do you know what? I've got a bit of a fresh example. Like the 2 spin classes I taught this morning was to cover an instructor who's a massive spin instructor. Like she's been in the game for forever, and now, unfortunately, she's now looking at a knee operation. But I was talking to her a couple of days ago, and you know, when you hear knee operation, it generally speaking, if you need a knee operation, it's probably at the point that you shouldn't be spinning. Correct. But she's got bills to pay, right? She's got to put food on the table. This is life. This is reality. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Exercise. You know, one of the worst things I think you can do for yourself is to do a lot of exercise.
Yeah,
But yeah, but in all seriousness, yeah, the whole injury thing it's super important, and I'm sad I missed it before, but I'm glad we're talking about it now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's not there because we want you to get injured. It's there for your safety. The contract is there for your safety. Like, so just in case you start working 50 hours a week, I don't know how you do that, 50 hours a week doing grit, it's for your safety. Like, so you don't do that. Yeah? And if you try to do that, the contract will state that you shouldn't do that. Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's the way it is. And the other thing, I was watching your video and I saw, which was a really interesting conversation, which I'm sure you're going to love, is the PPL conversation.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? Before we jump onto PPL, I just want to round off SimSpur a little bit, right? Sorry to jump back into SimSpur. No. This is something that I was sent by a member of the Les Mills TAP team, right? Right now, I kind of wish that I'd messaged him and said, "Hey, I'm going to do a conversation. Do you mind if I mention this tweet?" But they tweeted at SimSpur and David Lloyd UK on Twitter and just said, "I'm a member of SimSpur. What are my benefits?" Now, this is the interesting bit, right? This is a reply from David Lloyd Clubs, okay? "Hi, person. Sorry, we are not currently partnered with SimSpur to offer benefits. right? So let's just process that for a second, right? If you're, as an example, like if you're part of David Lloyd's clubs, if you teach for David Lloyd and you've been told by your coordinator in order to teach here for whatever reason, health and safety or it's company policy, blah, 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 that you need a SIMSPA membership, even if you do that, the supposed benefits that most people don't claim anyway, but they are apparent, according to SIMSPA, they're out there, right? Don't apply to you. You can't get them anyway, right? As like partnered with David Lloyd.
No, I agree. I think we summed it up. That SIMSPA payment, it doesn't even matter if only 2% of the instructor population is paying it. Needs to be scrapped because you're not representing us. You're just holding on to our qualification. And just for the record, if anyone doesn't believe me, behind me is my exercise to music certificate. I didn't even put it down on SIMSPA. So at the moment, they think I'm qualified in RPM. That's it.
Right.
So you almost ask yourself, so you're not keeping in contact with Les Mills with my qualifications. You want me to provide them to you, but yet I'm paying you. Have you ever gone to the shop, yeah, and paid them and walked out with nothing? This is what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, you said, you know, you said some, I don't remember exactly what you said, but something about how you know, you kind of, you sort of validate certain qualifications. Actually, it's almost as if SIMSPA are sort of holding your qualifications to ransom. Yeah. Oh, if you don't keep up with this CBD point, then your qualification is null. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's like holding your prior qualifications to ransom.
Yeah, and it's horrendous. And just in case anyone thinks we are ranting and we're making it up, I would just like to read this out to you. Congratulations, Martin Scott. Les Mills quarterly workshop for Body Jam. And here's your CPD certificate sent 2 days ago. Hey, Danny, can I ask you a question? When did you do your video?
What, my initial video for what, like
Yeah,
oh, sorry. Oh, my video.
Yeah.
What, my YouTube one?
Yeah.
Monday.
So I heard that you might be getting a bit of heat. Look, let's be real about it. Look, SIMSPA, you shouldn't be taking our money, and there's no point running around going, oh, let's send them certificates now to prove that we're giving them SIMSPA points or whatever points or club card points. We don't want it. We don't want your points. We don't want any of it. We just want to teach with the happiness that we can teach to participants. We don't want any points. We don't want them.
No.
So let's just get rid of them.
Yeah, I mean, and this is what I would say as well, right? Just on a very basic level, right? What evidence do you actually have, SIMSPA, that your requirements to keep people trained up actually works? Yeah, I'm not saying that people, you know, like furthering their education within fitness is bad, but I'm asking what evidence you have that your system actually does make for better, safer instructors.
Yeah, and it's not. I think we're in agreement. Just before we round that topic off.
Yeah, sorry to have jumped back on that. We can get back on PPL if you want.
No, it's right. It's not working, so we should stop paying you money. If it's not working, yeah, why are we spending £30 a year giving you money?
Yeah.
And please don't beat around the bush and say, oh, it's David Lloyd doing it, or contact SIMSPA, or contact your David Lloyd representative. How about we stop paying it?
Yeah. And do you know what as well? Like something you mentioned before about it needs to, you know, things need to be in our contract. So I've been actually trying to track down my instructor agreement that I've signed with David Lloyd. I haven't been successful yet, but I'm pretty sure, like I'm about 99% sure that there's nothing in that instructor agreement that says that I actually have to have a SimSpa membership.
Exactly.
And we know now from the tweet that I mentioned from a member of the tap team, we know now that they're not even partnered.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm. You took the word out of my mouth as I was sipping some water. I was thinking, I want to say that's crazy. I'm having a drink, and you said it for me. It's perfect.
Yeah. So
right.
Just because obviously I know we've been talking for a while, but I just feel like we need to say this one thing, just in case, for anyone who thinks, oh, Martin and Danny are pretty crazy. I've been teaching for 7 years. Danny, how long have you been teaching for?
I've been teaching Group X for 4 years.
So this isn't craziness. Like, we're in the middle of an instructor career. Like, there's some people who have taught for 20 years, and there's some people who's just passed by doing 45-degree Zoom assessments. You know what I'm talking about. But
you know what, though? Like, whether you've been teaching for 15, 20 years, or you've been teaching sort of up to pre-COVID, right? There's been just so many people that have come out and said, I've been teaching since the 90s, since the early 2000s, I've been teaching for 5 years, and they're all saying that they're agreeing with the things that I was talking about in my initial video, and I'm sure they're going to agree with, like, most, if not all, of what we're talking about today. So, yeah, in that respect of, yeah, people think we're crazy or whatever, we are, I believe that we've got a finger on the pulse with this.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that leads us to the PPL business.
Woo! PPL.
The £1.57. You might want to. Would you like me to get £1.57 out? I think I do too. Do I have it in my wallet?
Is it definitely 157? I thought it was 154.
Danny, you need to tell me because I'm going to my wallet to go and get it.
Hold on. I need to, like, how do you spell remittance? There we go. Remittance advice. That's how you search for your online, what are they called? Invoice, your digital invoice. Let's have a look here. No, that's not the one. That's not going to show me.
But while Danny's having a look for it, I will start the conversation. So I know it's something that people don't want to talk about, but if you want to pay the original artist music, so if you want to pay, for example, a TLC song, yeah, that's sang by TLC, you need to go and pay the £1.57, and we're going to find the accurate figure in a minute, so please don't jump down our throats. £1.57 to play the music. Now, what used to happen is the gym used to pay it, okay? Now, the gym has decided that the instructors need to pay the £1.57.
I found the official number.
Go for it.
Right. Make sure you sat down for this.
I am. Ready.
161. I have here an invoice dated. What's the month of this one? Here we go. This is December 2020. There's one pump class on here. PPL deduction £1.61.
You are dead right, because I found the official David Lloyd, if you're self-employed, January, December 2020, £1.61 per class. Okay, here we go.
When did it go up to 161?
I don't know. I'm
what?
just reading it.
Christ.
Daniel, I don't make the rules. I'm just reading it.
And Jock, should we just do? Yeah, I mean, like I said it before. I'm going to go there again. Right, 161 on its own doesn't sound like a lot. Some people will pay more than that to go and park near a town centre and go shopping, wouldn't they? Right. I'm gonna give that a real modest, right, 4 classes a week. All right, and we're going to give that 50 weeks a year. Do you want to have a guess at how much that's charging for 4 classes a week? How much that PPL 161 is for 50 weeks a year? Okay.
Dan, Danny, you're gonna have to tell me, because you know what? It's 8:42 on a Saturday, and I haven't had any wine yet. So you're gonna have to go.
All right, okay. It's £322.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's there. Yeah. If you're teaching 4 classes at a gym, I'm not going to name the gym because I'm going to be a professional. If you're teaching 4 classes at a gym that requires you, the instructor, to pay the PPL. If you teach for 50 weeks at 4 classes, you've lost £322. Now,
Yeah.
the thing is, spread out £322, but just think of what difference that makes to your ability to pay for your weekly shop, right? Maybe you could upgrade your phone so it doesn't have a crack in the corner. Do you know what I mean? There's all these. Never mind that, right? That could be a weekend holiday, right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a spa treatment day, you know.
And to be honest, because I think you said you named one of your videos "The Elephant in the Room." So I'm literally, and when I say it, there's going to be a lot of people clapping who are listening to this and going, "We've been trying to tell you this for a long time." Why do you think some of the top instructors are just literally hiring studios, okay, who they use their studio for example, cheerleading, or they use their studio for ballet dancing? They hire a studio and go, if I can have 15 people in this studio, or if they hire a church, they go, I can have 15 people in this church, right? Charge them £8 each, yeah?
Mm.
And they do it like that. So when I hear, for example, different high-quality gyms, I'm not going to mention their names, say, why can't we get the best instructors? No offense, and I'm going to tell you the truth right now. It's because they're not foolish. They've got bills to pay. If you times 8 by 10 people, you make £80. That church will ask you for max £20 for the hour. Yeah? Mm. You made £60. So you can't sit there and say, oh, I don't understand why the best instructors don't come here. It's because on top of let's call it a round figure, £21, we have to pay, hey, Danny, £1.61. I'm not shortchanging anyone. I hope I'm not shortchanging anyone. £1.61. Mm. Yeah? Yeah, so we have to pay the £1.61. Yeah? We also have to pay for our own insurance. Don't forget, we've had a whole 20 minutes about Simster. Yeah. So you walk home getting £15 an hour, and the person who went to the church just got £60.
Yeah.
So what do you think people are going to do? So that's why I'm trying to say that we need to talk about the elephant in the room, because one, you're not paying us enough, and two, all of the best instructors are going independently because they're getting too many fees taken off them.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just, I think as well, for those instructors who might be listening thinking, but I'm a good instructor and I'm still at the gym. And you know what? I fall into that category. But taking out for the moment the issue of the fact that, pandemic, blah, 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 the kind of societal world right now is in a bit of a sham, and it's got to pick itself back up and kind of hopefully return to normality. Outside of all that, there a lot of the more experienced instructors, and I don't know, I might get some flack for saying this, but a lot of the more experienced instructors who are sort of a little bit older now, a lot of them are, do you know what, they're just well tired. They're well tired, and they may not have that oomph in them left to sort of stand up and just be like, yo, do you know what, you're taking me for a mug, because they've been taken for a mug for so long that it's just, you know, it's just like conditioned.
Yeah, and that's crazy. It's just to play devil's advocate. We're not, as instructors, we're not asking for you must pay us £40 an hour.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you had a standard blanket around every single gym where everyone signed and went £30 for an hour, yeah, everyone's happy. Do you see that increase? Isn't that much?
No.
The increase isn't that much, but it's the fact that it's a blanket figure. You're not going to push the instructors from pillar to post on that £30. They know as they walk in, the hour is £30. Forget PPL, forget everything that you're talking about, forget Simster. If they know they're going to walk out there with £30 an hour,
Yeah.
this discussion wouldn't be happening.
No, definitely. Yeah. Because I see, and there are a few people who have made the case that basically that what we're getting paid right now is fine. And do you know what? That's cool. If that's how you feel, that's cool. But I don't know. I feel like if there are just that many people who feel the exact same, then surely something's gone wrong. You know, something's gone wrong. And
and to be honest, I don't mind talking about it because I know it's a bit technical, but I'm happy to talk about it. The minimum wage being £8.91, okay, isn't for rich people, yeah, because they're not the ones who are complaining, okay? These are for the people who are on 0-hour contracts and the employer's telling them to work every hour of the day and ringing them on their days off. And if you're an instructor, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Ringing them on their days off and saying, hey, you know Becky, yeah, she didn't make it in for her body conditioning class. Can you do it? You've only given me 10 minutes. So you're nice. Yeah. You get in your car. You drive like a maniac. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? And you park in the car park. You teach the class. Hey, Danny, and just to make you laugh, you're going to be like, Martin's talking facts now. You walk out to your car. Guess what? You've got a £100 ticket.
What? Have you had that?
No, I'm just saying that if you've been in any of these gyms, you can only park there for 4 hours.
Right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So if you're going to, as an emergency, drive there, go and do the class, and then you have to do your own class, you could end up with a ticket that is actually more than the classes. And I'm not trying to say that's the gym's fault. I'm trying to explain that you're not paying them enough. You're not, and it isn't even, oh, no, Martin, you're being out of order. You're not paying them enough. I just told you what the minimum wage is. And unless you can do grit for 8 hours, by the way, that is a challenge for anyone. Whoever can do grit for 8 hours, let me know.
Like, not like half-assed it, obviously. I want you to do grit.
Yeah. No. You can even do it half-assed because you've got to do burpees in it.
Yeah. Do that.
So, yeah, I suppose solution-wise, I know we've been talking for a long time. We're like, scrap SimSpur altogether.
Yeah, just kick that out.
Yeah.
Or let's try and be if we be nice for 2 seconds, right? Let's say that SimSpur reach out and go, do you know what? We've heard you, and maybe you know can we do what you suggest, right? And so then rather than kick them out, is there a way that SimSpur can kind of be that voice that we all need? Or do you think it's just better off to just get something new?
I think because SimSpur are meant to regulate the actual fitness industry, yeah.
Mhm.
If they don't know what qualifications I have, what purpose do you serve? Like I don't.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to help them, but I'm trying to say, what purpose do you serve if you don't even know that? Like, that's the minimum. Like, should you not know that instructors need insurance? I mean, that should be one of the questions, surely? No?
Mm.
Do
Yeah.
you have insurance?
Yeah, do you know what? That's weird actually thinking about it. Like when you apply for a Simspa membership, they don't ask your insurance certificate.
So it's very clear that they're not doing anything.
Mm.
Yeah. If you're not serving your role, I mean, let's put it this way. Like, we've had many organizations through the time who have not served their role, and it's just, people have just waved and said bye. Like,
Mm.
we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. So it's not me being harsh. It's not me like playing like the bad guy. This is for the comment section. I'm talking to the comment section. It's not me being a bad guy. I'm just saying to you, Simspa want our qualifications,
Yeah.
but yet we have no contract. Yet we have no insurance. Are you sure you're doing the right job?
Mm.
Yeah, and we're about to find out. I think you're about to find out that they're not. So
Yeah. Yeah. No. And then it's like, I'm so baffled that from what I found out about David Lloyd not actually being a partner with them, but then David Lloyd apparently wanting them as a sort of necessary thing to have a membership in. Like it's just it's like their own notoriety is now sort of propelling them and just generating them more money for no reason.
yeah,
That's a scary thing.
and I think me and you are in agreement on this. Like, we need a change now.
Yeah.
This isn't a, oh, Martin, that's all good. We'll do it in a year's time. No, we need a change now, because we're about to go back into gyms, and I believe it's Monday. Yeah, but the actual classes don't start till May. Yeah, so we're about to go back into gyms, but we've been in a pandemic for a full calendar year, so everyone's insurances have run out. So, Simspa, what are you doing? Are you helping us, or are you
Just taking more money.
going to ask for that money again and go, oh, yeah, you know, you should really have insurance? What? I thought you were here to help me about that.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, you're meant to update your qualifications. Like, you know that? Oh,
Yeah. I updated my qualifications after about 3 years of having reps. I finally got on there and put on some of the sort of quarterlies and aim 1 and aim 2 and eventually, but I I was never chased up about it.
yeah. It's absolutely crazy, and it's one of those changes that I know me and Danny have been talking for England. This change needs to happen now. We need to be safe in our jobs, not knowing that we're not going to get fired, and this is going to make Danny laugh. We're not going to get fired for if my tablet breaks, or we're not going to get fired because we broke a charger to the stereo.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
at the moment, that's what's happening to people, because they have no contract, they have no guarantees, and Simspa, who's meant to be helping us, isn't helping us. He's actually helping the employer.
Well, do you know what? I'm gonna rename that. They're not the employer. They're just contracting you. We don't, because if they were our employers, then we'd have more rights.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing as well. That's a big thing. Now, it's not going to suit everyone to be employed. But
it's like the same for minimum wage. The £8.91 isn't for the rich people.
yeah, true.
It's not for the rich people. It's for the people who are in warehouses working 60 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
And they decide to pay them £4 an hour. No, it's for them.
Yeah.
Yeah? So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, the contract's not going to suit everyone. I think I saw a comment where they said, I like being self-employed. This contract is not for you.
Yeah.
It's for the people who, and I'm sure you've done it, Danny. I've done a 9-hour day exercise.
Yep.
You know when you said you were having heart palpitations?
Mm.
I just fell asleep on my floor.
I'm surprised the gym didn't charge you for sleeping on the floor, mate.
I remember it distinctly because I literally just fell asleep. It was on the bench top. I just fell asleep, and I woke up after 20 minutes, and I was like, I should go home.
Yeah. Shit.
And just to let everyone know, I'm single. Can you imagine if you've got kids and you just fall asleep like that? They're going to be concerned. They're going to be like, why didn't you pick us up? Or why didn't you come and see us? Or that can't happen. Like, you need to protect people from themselves. And like I said, this is not for the person who goes, I love being self-employed. You do you. You do you. Yeah?
Yeah.
We're talking about the people who work ridiculous amount of hours, yeah? And then, Danny, they ring you and go, hey, Danny, can you make it in at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning because the RPM instructor is not showed up.
Yeah, and do you know what? That's the thing, right? This is what, I mean, this is just another piece of this puzzle. But if you're employed, you have a legal right to not go to work for an 11-hour period, right? Between a day. Because you are self-employed and you work in an industry where you have to work when other people don't. So we're talking 6 o'clock in the morning, and then before work and after work, essentially. It's almost like an expectation that you just finished a spin class at 9 p.m. See you tomorrow morning at 6, and you have no protection from that.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, if in this thing again, because you're self-employed, because you've got no employment rights, because Simsa don't care about you. If you say, "Yo, you treat me really badly," what happens? Well, they phase you out.
Yeah. And I hope this doesn't scare anyone, because I know it's near the end of the conversation, but I hope this doesn't scare anyone. But I hope owners and Les Mills are listening to this conversation to the end.
Yeah.
What if somebody has a heart attack teaching? I know it hasn't happened, but it can happen. What if that happens? Please don't send an email going, oh, if you'd like to contact us, please come and talk to us. No, that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, still haven't. I mean, yeah. If anyone from Les Mills is still listening, offer's still open. We can have that conversation, but like I said, I want it public, and I want it to be in a way that we can all interact.
Yeah, because what is it going to take? Is it going to take somebody? No offense, and I mean touch wood. I don't want it to happen to anyone. I really don't. Really don't. What? Does somebody have to have a heart attack, or does somebody have to drop dead while teaching for you to go, we should give these people rights?
Yeah. Do you know what, actually, it's funny you should say that, heart attack, right? My Taekwondo instructor was a pump and combat instructor as well, right? So he had a Taekwondo school. He worked on the gym floor in the sports center, and he also taught pump and combat. One Sunday evening after a Taekwondo class, he went home. You never guess what? He had a heart attack. He dropped dead, 59. I mean,
I'm sure everyone sat there and went, oh, that wasn't our fault. But it was. Like, you're looking at it, like, it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, somebody has to, I'm not trying to say you have to claim responsibility. I'm trying to say that we, as instructors, need to get together, and we need rights to save us from ourselves, to save us from doing 9-hour days, to save us from doing 9-hour days and then going back into work at 6 a.m. Like, who's stopping anyone from doing that? No one. And I know what you're going to say. I'm Superman. No, you're not.
Well, you are for like a hot minute, and then you get a bad knee, and then you go from Superman to schmuck.
Yeah, and like your fiance said, like, look, it's not physio is real life. Like, you can't do anything, and it affects your mental health as well as your physical health.
Yeah.
So you can't be sitting there going, and you know what normally happens, don't you? When you get injured, everyone's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah. It's either when you get injured as an instructor, right? You're either basically put in the bin, or it's, well, you could probably still teach. You know, there's no support there. It's just either, all right, do we need to get cover for you, and then you're basically done, or are you going to work through this like a hero? And like one of when I was doing a lot more combat, I taught a taekwondo seminar, and I actually tore my hamstring, and it was like proper swollen. It was really bad. I could barely walk. And then on Monday, I was back in teaching combat because there was no one else to do it, and I felt obligated.
Yeah, and so I think we're in agreement on that with the contract. The contract is there to save you from yourself. And for anyone who's signed instructor agreements, would you like me to whisper? Not the contracts that don't say anything in them. The contracts that say you have to do a minimum of 4 hours, that if you do get injured, we have at least 2 hours of free physio for you. Also, you can't work within an 11-hour period of each other if you've just done a lot of exercise.
Mm.
You know, the contracts actually mean something. And for all you self-employed people, like I said to you, you do you.
Mm. So I'm thinking a certain issue with that is, right, if we created that, if that was a thing, how do we stop the gyms from just sort of choosing not to employ anyone with the contract and just being like, well, all of our instructors have chosen to be self-employed? Because that's kind of where we are now, isn't it? Anyway, like, there's nothing stopping a gym from contracting their instructors. It's just that it's just become the sort of the norm, I forgot what the word is. Yeah, the norm to just have people that have basically no rights. Yeah.
So, hey, this is the ironic part about it, which you're going to be like, Martin, that's not a bad idea. Hey, Simsper, instead of collecting our qualifications, which you're not doing very well, could you collect our contracts?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you've got, let's say you've got a gym that has 100 classes a week. 100 classes sounds like a lot. It's not actually that uncommon. But if you've got a gym with 100 classes a week and they've got 20 instructors on their books, well, all right, let's say Simspa steps in and says, okay, look, these instructors are paying members, so you need a certain percentage or of those instructors to be contracted. Here are the conditions of the contract. They have to be 4 hours, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, then we're on the right path. Because basically they're looking out for the instructors, and they're also looking at the contracts going, okay, cool. We're just here to make sure that these instructors, no offense to anyone, I know people might have parents who have had serious illnesses and stuff like that. We're here to make sure the instructors don't drop down dead because you thought it would be really good for them to work 9 hours today.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which is to the instructors out there around the world who may listen to this thing, may not listen to this thing. Hey, for that person who only listened to the first 5 minutes, I'll probably suggest you listen to the rest of the 15. But,
well, it's a bit late now.
I know, a bit late now.
If they only listened to the first 5 minutes, they ain't gotten this far.
Yeah, but it's to save us from getting serious illnesses,
yeah,
and to get serious injuries, and you may not have it now, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get it. Okay, and you can't be. People may think, "Oh, Martin's being a little bit egotistical." I'm not. I'm just trying to say you can't sit there and say, "I'm never going to have a serious injury or a serious disease." You can't say that.
No.
So we need looking after, just like everyone has. Touch wood. I hope everyone's parents are alive. Everyone has parents that look after them. It's the same process. We have a contract to look after us, so we don't go crazy. Yeah. So we don't take. What did you say? What did you say was for 45 minutes? £15? Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
No, you won't do it because there's a contract in place that says that we have to pay you at least £30 an hour, irregardless of PPL, SINSPA, or anything like that. So even if we wanted to do it, we can't do it.
Right. Before we started, it did say an hour to an hour and a half. 4 minutes on the clock. Do you think that Les Mills, or particularly Les Mills UK, has a responsibility here? Just a quick one.
Yes.
Okay.
Go on. I don't think I need to explain, only because we pay them a lot of money.
Fair. Yeah. And I don't want you to get in too much trouble with Les Mills as well. I don't want you to say something and they get upset. But yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, no, it would be alright. We pay them a lot of money. Hey, do you know what they do their injury prevention bits and bobs at the quarterlies, and people sit there, they listen, they learn. I suppose you can't, but that's not really that's kind of a piece of the puzzle, isn't it?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think not to hype up this conversation anymore, but. I think if people like it, I think we should do it regularly, because we're kind of speaking the truth. Because the amount of videos that you listen to, I mean, I just Googled the advantage and disadvantage of group exercise instructors. Nothing comes up. Nothing. And this is Google.
Yeah.
So why isn't anyone talking about it?
No, yeah.
Like,
we're all hung up on we're all hung up on our, like, how do you create magic in a class, and all that sort of posh and tosh, but we're not talking about this.
Danny, this is how I create magic in my class. I like to eat first, and then I can create magic.
That's so good. This is how I create magic in my class. I have a balanced diet, you psychopath.
Unless you would like me to just eat like toast and then come to the class, because that's what some young people will actually come to the class and just eat toast because they can't afford it.
Oh man, that's horrendous.
Yeah, and
once they sitting there going, but I like toast.
Hey, look, Danny. If something comes up in the comments that says I really like toast, yeah, just we'll jointly say we have nothing against toast.
No, man. Do you know what? I'm willing to go on the record. I like toast.
Hey, Danny. I don't think we need to say anymore. I think we should end it on that. Like,
yeah, man, that's perfect.
There we go.
Do you want to do any social shout out, follow you on, or anything like that? Is that your thing?
No, I'm good. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the videos. Actually, I would like to do one shout out. If you haven't, subscribe to Danny, please.
Oh,
do.
mate,
I've seen his videos, yeah, and I'm in a similar boat too. I have a YouTube channel, but I've seen your videos, Danny. Your technique on your kicks and your punches, second to none. In fact,
mate, thank you. That's really kind. What was your YouTube channel?
It's just my name. It's just me dancing around on chairs.
On chairs?
Listen. I live by myself in a 2-bedroom house. What do you expect? Um, no,
Oh
but
wow. Well, do you know what? If you want to see Martin jumping around dancing on chairs,
you know what?
you got to get
They'll
on
press the video,
YouTube.
they'll press the video and be like, that's literally what he does.
There it is. Cardio time. Let's do it.
He's literally doing that. He's literally doing that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. We've just got it up on the old YouTube. No, turn it down, Con. Nice, man. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna have to watch you dancing on chairs.
of course, you can't miss it. But no, I hope this gives people encouragement. And also, I would like to say, I'm sure Danny would agree with me. If you want us to do this on a regular basis, just have this kind of chat which is open. We'll try and make it shorter, but we'll do it on a regular basis. Please leave comments down there and say like, we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, if that's give the people what they want. If people want to, if people want to do this, if people want to hear this on the regular, then I'm keen.
If people want to see me dancing on chairs, I don't think I want to do that.
Maybe we could do another one of these while you're dancing on chairs.
Okay, I'm open to it.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get the laptop out of the shop, fix it, and then we can actually zoom it as well. It might be a bit more, a bit nicer.
Yeah, that would be good. I think. Do you think they want to see our faces? Yeah.
Well, maybe yours. I don't know about mine, but they've seen enough of my mug. Through a dusty steering wheel, they've seen enough of mine.
I'll order my makeup off Amazon and I'll get it.
All right, Martin. It has been long, but it's been a blast.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully, we'll do this again soon.
Yes, mate. I am. Yeah. Thank you everyone as well for watching. This has been Martin Scott, Danny Dowling, Group X, holding the world to rights.
We'll definitely do that.
Yeah, man. All right, and I'm going to end the recording now. Cheers, everyone.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. That is the end of this video. Massive thank you to everyone who saw the last video talking about the Group X industry, and thank you so much to everyone that's reached out to me. Special thank you to Martin for going that little bit extra and having this conversation. If you want to see us do it again, please do let us know in the comment section wherever you see this video. If you see it somewhere on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube and I'm tagged in it, then I will certainly read your comments. If you want to see us do more of it, definitely let us know. If you are a representative of SimSpa, PPL or any major gym brand and you also want to get in touch and have the conversation, do it. Get in touch and we'll have a conversation. Hopefully we can move forward in a positive way, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you.